I don't think so. I don't think I'm sure but I'm sure I know that.
All right, at this time, the chair will entertain a motion in which we will actually vote to exit executive session.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion, we exit executive session, providing I get a second.
Mr. Chair, I second.
Ms. Harrison and Pastor Jackson have motion and second. All those in favor of exiting executive session, I'm gonna get back on track, I promise you. All in favor, raise your right hand. We need to vote on that one. How about that? That is 6-0. 5-0.
Mr. Miller.
Ms. Miller was not in. Very good. Well, thank you all for attending. I know we've got some recognition, so we won't take too long so we can get those folks up in front of us. Welcome to our March board meeting. One thing I want to do at the beginning of the meeting that I neglected to do at the last meeting is recognize our new board member, Mr. Darrell Davis, who was elected for District 7, special election very recently. He's already served so well that I forgot he was sitting down there. So welcome, Mr. Davis, and I apologize for neglecting you at the last board meeting, but good to see you here.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. All right. With that, if we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance and moment of silence.
Stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
moment of silence. Thank you.
At this time, Chair will entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve the agenda as presented, providing I get a second.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Chair.
All right. I know. It's contagious. It's been motioned by Ms. Harrison, seconded by Pastor Jackson, to approve the agenda. Any discussion on that? If not, Ms. Hartman, there's a good saying about please don't attribute to malicious intent that ineptitude can explain. I did not recall what your issue was. So when I emailed you and asked you for clarification, I didn't remember what you were asking me to put on the agenda. So if you will please just let me know specifically what you want to get on the agenda before the next meeting, I will be glad to see if we can get it on the agenda. Thank you, ma'am. Anything further? All in favor of the agenda, please indicate by raising your right hand. I believe that is 5-0. Negative? Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Is Ms. McDaniels on the phone?
I received nothing that said she was looking to call in. If anybody knows anything different, please let me know. But, okay. Yeah, she didn't turn any notification in, so. All right, public comment.
Mr. Chair, we have two public comments, Mr. Brandon Henderson and Mr. Kenise Robinson. Mr. Brandon Henderson wanted, to speak on proposal to rename, the cafeteria at McCoy Liston.
yes.
5 minutes.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Brandon Henderson. I'm born and raised pretty much here in Fairfield County, lifelong Fairfield County resident. Currently, I'm living in New York. Been in New York for about 5 years or so. And recently, some things just came to my attention that I feel like we need to recognize within our community. And the recent Black Panther phase is the overall theme, hidden in plain sight. And I feel like you have icons and legends and people here in our community that we need to recognize that's hidden in plain sight, such as my great aunt, Virginia Wilson, who managed the cafeteria at Coalition for decades and decades and decades. Don't ask me the exact number because I don't know. I know it was a very long time. My mama went, so a very long time. And that goes a long way with our community, with our kids knowing that, with us recognizing that at a young age, because Coalition definitely served the foundation of my life. Some of the most important lessons that I learned came from that cafeteria at Coalition. And I feel like the same thing can happen to the generation that's behind me and the generation that's behind them. Recently, Mr. Councilman Robinson posted on Facebook, Coalition, the first 2 presidents at Johnson C. Smith. I discovered that about 2 years ago. And I went on the quest. I asked my mom, I asked my aunts, and no one never taught that at Coalition. And I wish I would have known that growing up because I feel like that's history, hidden in plain sight, that we need to know. So even though I'm not an official resident of Fairfield County now, but I'm always going to be an official resident of Fairfield County because home is where the heart is. So I want to see things like this happen. We recognize our legends that's hidden in plain sight and prop it up for our next generation. I'm going to try to make it as short as possible because I can ramble all day up here. But long story short, yeah, and I hope that this will serve as a foundation that we can recognize other legends hidden in plain sight at other schools throughout our community. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I have to say. And I just want to plant that seed and hopefully it'll grow into something beautiful here very shortly. So, thank you. Have a good evening. I'm going to take my seat.
Mr. Denise Robinson, I guess you got some new residents in town.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. Esteemed board, Dr. Green. I'm Cornelius Robinson, District 6 representative, and I'm taking it upon myself to introduce new residents to the community. I have with me my neighbors, Barbara and Gary Wilder. They are part of Perfect Provisions Mobile Soup Kitchen. If you can't tell, my stomach is part of it now, so I'll let them go ahead and explain what they do and what they're all about, if I may, please.
Good afternoon. How y'all doing? My name is Barbara Wilder, and forgive me, I'm a little hoarse from the weather and stuff keep changing. And this is my husband, Gary, and we are the president and vice president of Perfect Provision Soup Kitchen, mobile soup kitchen. And on our apron, right here, I want everybody to see that we have a heart. And around this heart, there is Jesus and the 12 disciples. And my niece, she did these aprons for us. So, and I'm telling you, they are very anointed. People always ask, what did you do? Who did those aprons? Who did those aprons? But just to tell you a little bit about ourselves, we are ordained evangelists, and we moved to Winsboro in July the 13th of last year. And we are a mobile soup kitchen. We have 2 food trucks, and one is in North Carolina, the other one is in South Carolina. And in North Carolina, we serve about 400 people. We serve across from the women's shelter, the men's shelter, and we have a church that we help evangelize their neighborhood. And what we do, we come out, we bring a hot, delicious meal. We set up our Perfect Provisions, our marketplace, which is our donations, and then we have a prayer tent. So whoever wants to come and get prayer, I mean, it's not required. We know everybody have prayer needs, so we bless the food. We let them come and they can shop for whatever they need. We have gently used clothes. We do not bring out any junk. We are a ministry of excellence. And so you can shop, you can get your delicious meal, you can hang around and eat, and after that, if you have any prayer requests, you can come into the prayer tent. And we've started ministering in South Carolina. We've been to Finley Park. We fed a delicious meal, passed out donations. I mean, they're actually living in this park. So we have like blankets, coats, gloves, things to keep them warm, hot chocolate. We bring out coffee sometimes. And, you know, we just want to bless them. And what me and my husband do, we ask for nothing. We don't get any money. Nobody gets paid. Nobody gets a salary. We just want to be the hands and feet of Jesus. And we want Winsboro to know that we're here. We're here. We started a new program called the Backpacks for the Weekend. And I don't know if your school do that. But we want to start giving out backpacks to underprivileged children so that they can have something to eat over the weekend. Because a lot of children, they only get a meal during the school time. And at dinner time, they have nothing. And we have run into that a lot. And so we're going to start that back up again. And we need help, like we need donations. And we need the word to get out that we're here. We need businesses to start getting involved so that we can start getting donations. Men clothing. Men, empty your closet out. We know that you don't like giving your clothes away, but empty your clothes out because there's people that really need it. We need children clothes. We need women clothes. I mean, we need infant stuff. So whatever you can give and donate. And we also need monetary. We have a website, www.perfectprovisions.org, and you can go and donate your tax donation. And also, if you give us things, we can write you a tax write-off letter because we are a nonprofit. Why take it to the Goodwill when all they're going to do is sell it? And we're just going to give it away and help people. So, honey, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I couldn't have said nothing no better myself, but she kind of got to the end there that we're a non-profit organization, which I'm glad she said that, because I was going to say it. Nothing is given to us. Everything that we give goes out. So, you know, like my wife said, everything is for everybody else. We give account for everything we do.
Yes. And, I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
we're going to be the 16th of March on Rose's parking lot serving a hot, delicious meal. That's this Friday from 5 o'clock until all the food and donations are gone. And then on the 30th of March also, we're going to be at Rose's parking lot and we're going to be serving a hot meal. So pass the word around, come out, see what we're about, and be a blessing.
Spread the word and get our names out.
Amen.
Oh, man, just look, she can't cook, I told you, look what's done. It's all time.
Does that conclude public comment?
Yes.
All right, presentations and recognitions.
Yeah, that's me. All right. Chairman Freak, members of the board, first of all, I'd like to call upon Mike Quinn to come and participate in the United Way presentation.
Thank you very much. My name is Mike Quinn. I'm the United Way representative for this part of the state. I handle Newberry County, Fairfield County, and also handle all the higher education accounts, which would be University of South Carolina, Claflin College, Claflin University, and Benedict, and all the schools here in the area. I've been with United Way about 6 years, and it's always a privilege when I get to come home, because I live across the street over here. I can walk over here. A lot of you know my wife, Debbie, when I works with Dr. Debbie. So people say, I don't know you, but I know your wife. That's for true. But I really am truly pleased to be here in front of the school board and the leadership and the superintendent and all of y'all here. And every year I get to give out some awards for schools that do a terrific job. Every year the United Way has an annual campaign, and this year we did real well in the county, and we raised well over $41,000. And a lot of that came from the schools here. So I want to recognize some of the schools for some of the work they've done. The first up is what we call a Trailblazer Award. And this organization had at least a 10% increase, at least $500 over last year. And I want to say congratulations to the principal, Ms. Gail Whitfield, and her campaign team from the Fairfield Magnet School for math and science for a 100% increase to $665 this year. She agree? All right, let's keep going. We'll keep going up. United Way also presents organizations and companies with a gold, silver, or bronze award and platinum awards for exceptional per capita giving. Gold awards are given for a per capita rate of $150, average donation per employee. Silver awards for a per capita rate between $100 and $149, and bronze awards are given to organizations with a per capita rate between $50 and $99. I'm pleased to present 2 bronze awards this evening. First one goes to Dr. Tammy Martin, the principal from Fairfield Elementary School, her campaign team. They earned a bronze award for a $51 per capita rate for their contribution of $4,818 this year. Next, one more award. Bronze award goes to Dr. Jennifer Etheridge and her campaign team right here in the district office. They raised, they had a per capita rate of $55, and they raised $2,485. A couple more quick comments I want to make about the United Way campaign. I was very pleased to hear about the perfect provisions people coming, because we needed something like that in Fairfield County. And United Way, I need to tell you, for every dollar that's contributed, we get 3 back. And if I told you all day long, every dollar you gave me, I'd give you 3 back, we'd be up there all day, and not money each other. But I want to thank all of y'all for being a part of what we expected to be a great year this year in Fairfield County for United Way. So far, we raised $41,152, which is a little bit over our $41,000 goal. And it's you that made that happen. You at the schools, you at the school board, Dr. Green for supporting the campaign. But we're not through. The campaign continues through June 30th. Probably got a couple more companies here in town that are going to kick in with a little bit more money. But every penny of that money, every penny comes right back here at Fairfield County, so we can keep doing things like keep funding the Boys and Girls Club, or we can keep Fairfield First Steps going, the Fairfield Council on Aging, Eau Claire Cooperative Health Center, and other partner agencies. We got 70 of them that work here in the middle, Sister Care, St. Lawrence Place, and all kinds of things we do. But this is one thing I want to mention, which is something I've been working on. We've been working on for a long time, as long as I can remember. And this year, we did what I hoped I'd do before I retired. But that is expand the Midlands Reading Consortium here in Fairfield County. Now, a lot of you saying, what's the Midlands Reading Consortium? The Midlands Reading Consortium is a program that uses trained volunteers to help children through the 3rd grade become better readers. It's a critical skill, which all know is required for academic success and in life. So I'm especially pleased that Fairfield Elementary was our pilot school, and they're doing a great job. And from what I hear, the volunteers are showing up and helping them read the kids and these are kids on the bubble. Just a little bit of help, they could cross over and become excellent readers. Good things are happening here in Fairfield County. The United Way of Ministers is very happy to play a role in our success. Thank you very much. I'll turn it over to Sheila Fraley, who has some other certificates to hand out.
In addition to those that stand, we also want to recognize each school and each department that participated in the United Way campaign this school year. And I have certificates for those also. If you have anyone from the transportation department, Giger Elementary, Fairfield Career and Technology Center, McCory Liston Elementary. McCory Liston School of Technology. Gordon Odyssey. Kelly Miller. Fairfield Middle School. Last but not least, Fairfield Central High School. Thank you again for everything that you did this campaign year.
Great members of the board, next on the agenda, we have the opportunity to recognize one of our 8th grade scholars from Fairfield Middle School by the name of Tatiana Kennedy, who came in 2nd place at the Delta Sigma Theta oratorical contest. And just to tell you a little bit about Tatiana, Tatiana is described as someone who's kind, audacious, intelligent, and eager for knowledge. She did not hesitate when asked if she wanted to be in the Delta Sigma Theta oratorical contest. The prompt this year was, would they heal the world with their heart, their brain, or courage? Tatiana chose courage and began her oration with an acrostic poem detailing her definition of courage and how she would use it to end modern-day slavery. Please join me as Tatiana comes forward as we recognize her for doing an outstanding job. Her certificate reads, Tatiana Kennedy, Fairfield Middle School, in acknowledgement of an outstanding acrostic poem oration detailing the definition of courage in the Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated oratorical contest. And as soon as it's over, I'll find out what acrostic means. But let's give a round of applause.
Dr. Green, if I may on that.
Yeah.
I was privileged to attend that last year. I believe we had 5 participants from Fairfield, one of the largest groups there last year. I believe we had 5 again. So I just wanted to give a shout out to our middle school for encouraging people to do that. Ms. Kennedy, I don't know if you understand, not everybody can do what you did, stand in front of a crowd and talk. So it's, despite my lack of ability to do it this evening, is what I get paid to do. But not a lot of people can do it. And I've seen that presentation before, and that's quite impressive to be able to do what you did. So congratulations to you and to everyone who participated.
Senator Vic members of, yeah. And so next up, I don't know if you were aware, but I think about a year or so ago, we developed the Fairfield County Educational Office Professionals Organization. And this is an opportunity for us to really develop our office professionals. And very often, these are the first people that the public comes into contact with. And so we want to ensure that they're not only very professional, but very inviting in how they interact with not only the staff, but also our community. And so we have an opportunity today to recognize a couple of our very outstanding office professionals. And so, first of all, if I could ask Ms. Camilla Tidwell to come up front as I kind of talk about some of the things we'll be recognizing her for. We give her a round of applause. As she comes up. So, in addition to many different things, Fairfield County Office Professionals Vice Chairman and Area 6 Director Camilla Tidwell received her CEOE certification through the National Organization NAEOP Professional Standards Program. Camilla is the first in the district to receive this designation. Let's give her a round of applause. In addition, during the SCA EOP installation banquet, Ms. Camilla Tidwell, and whom I'll recognize a little later on, Mr. Vonda Brown, were installed as members of the 2018-2019 SCA EOP board. Ms. Tidwell will serve as the Area 6 Director for Fairfield, Chester, and Lancaster County. So the first Black Reads Professional Standards Program, this certifies that Camilla Tidwell has satisfactorily fulfilled the requirements of Advanced 3, Option 1. Okay. And the second one says that Camilla Tidwell, having successfully completed the requirements as prescribed by the association, has been declared a certified educational office employee. So she's going to be a perfect office professional for this board. And next up, we'll be recognizing my executive assistant, Mr. Vonda Brown, who I also indicated earlier will serve as the mentoring chair for the SCAEOP. In addition, Ms. Brown presented a couple of times at the conference this past year. The first certificate of appreciation goes to Ms. Javonda Brown for presenting Unlocking Your Potential during the 36th annual SCAEOP conference, South Carolina Association of Educational Office Professionals. And the second says a certificate of appreciation presented to Ms. Javonda Brown for presenting professionalism in workplace during the 36th annual SCAEOP conference, South Carolina Association of Educational Office Professionals. Please join me in giving a round of applause. We have some other members who are here. So of all the members of the South Carolina Education, Fairfield County Office of Educational Professionals.
It's a Fairfield County EOP.
Fairfield County SCAOP. All them stand up. All them stand up for me right now. That name is much too long. We need a shorter name, something that I can remember right. But congratulations, we appreciate all of the investment in becoming better professionals.
All right, I believe that concludes presentations and recognition. Next thing on the agenda is a student hearing appeal request. Chair will entertain any motion regarding that. If there is no motion, then the current situation will stand. Hearing no motion, move to the next part of the agenda, board minutes. Chair will entertain a motion regarding the February 20th board meeting minutes.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion, we approve the minutes for the February 20, 2018, meeting. So I don't get a second.
Thank you, Ms. Harrison. Is there a second?
second that, Mr. Chair.
All right, Ms. Mills seconds. Any discussion on the minutes?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
in
Did you-
section that,
Are you using your microphone over there? I don't want Yvonne to yell at me. Or just yell, either one.
in the section, is that the right one? Hello?
I don't think that's it.
Yeah, it seems to be the right one. Y'all didn't want to hear me. In the section that I had asked the question when, we were talking about, well, the things all over the internet, as far as people complaining, and the section that it has me on section 4, and actually, it was actually going back and forth between Green and I, and it states just me on here. There's a paragraph, and it says I'm saying everything, and part of that is Green saying it. In section, do you see where it says 4 in the second paragraph?
And we provide you that section on the minutes correction form, and I'll be more than happy to add. Are you saying you don't want your statement, or you don't want the discussion, interaction between you and Dr.
Oh, that's
Green?
fine, but it doesn't state anybody's talking but me. You could look back at that section, it says, it's the second paragraph, and it's number 4. Thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Any further discussion on the February minutes? Seeing none, all is in favor of approving minutes pending the changes Ms. Hartman spoke of. Raise your right hand. All right. All opposed? All right. It will be 5 in favor and 1 opposed. Thank you. Next, we have superintendent's report. Didn't you just get through, Tom? Anyway.
I'm back again. Mr. Frank, I'm quite sure everyone noticed all of the beautiful umbrellas out in the lobby as we walked in, and just to tell you a little bit about that, that is a traveling exhibit from the South Carolina Arts Commission and the Arts and Basic Curriculum Project. The exhibit is called April Showers, which is fitting, and it features artwork from Fairfield Central High School and Kelly Miller Elementary School, representing the Fairfield County School District. And so this was the first time I had an opportunity to see this when I walked in prior to the meeting, but they have done an outstanding job. And so let's give our students a round of applause. Also, I'd be remiss if I did not publicly recognize Elements Electronics once again for the outstanding gift that they made to the Honors Chorus this past Thursday. And so for those of you who were not aware, Elements Electronic donated $30,000 to assist the chorus in their trip to Carnegie Hall this coming week. And very often, as I said during my remarks at Elements, people talk about supporting the young people of our community. It's another thing to talk about it, but as the young people say, you got to be about it. And so, are you willing to invest in our young people and not just talking about supporting them? And so I appreciate their commitment to invest in our young people. And so let's continue to support Elements because they're obviously supporting our young people. One final thing, we're in girls and boys soccer season, so we can get out of here in time, Mr. Frick. There's a girls soccer game going on at Fairfield Central High School today. Ms. Swiller was a former county soccer player, so I'm quite sure she's interested in that. So if we can get out and go by and check out girls soccer, that's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Curriculum and instruction.
Good evening.
Good evening.
For your approval are the 2018-19 instructional materials, also known as textbooks, that are recommended for adoption for the 2018-19 school year. And the materials before you have been on display since February for public review in our front lobby. And as you can tell from the documents or the information loaded in board docs, The majority of the titles are related to science, advanced composition, journalism, and foreign language, to include forensic science, for example, Spanish, law ed, French 1, 2, 3, and 4, Latin 1, 2, 3, and 4, and Spanish. And per our board policy, IJJ, these are coming before you from the superintendent as his recommendation for instructional materials for the 2018-19 school year.
Thank you, ma'am. Chair will entertain a motion regarding approval of instructional materials for the 2018-19 school year.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
make a motion to accept the superintendent recommendation for approval of 2018-2019 instructional material textbooks. Provided they get a second.
Second.
Speech two there, President. It's been motioned by Mr. Miller, second by Ms. Harrison to accept superintendent's recommendation to approve the 2018-19 instructional materials. Is there any discussion on it?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
is it possible that we are told when they start put on display, like maybe the previous meeting when you will? So if we would like to go see them prior to approving them?
I do understand, and I've asked that question before myself. It was out there. I can't remember when it was, when we were given notice. It may have been board docs for the last meeting, but I'll see if maybe we can do something a little more prevalent. So
Maybe announce it or something?
absolutely, we'll see if we can do that. Yes, ma'am. Anything else? All right. The motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor of approving instructional materials for the 2018-2019 school year, please indicate by raising your right hand. That is 6-0. Thank you. Next we have operations and finance.
Good evening. In the board packets, you have the first item, which is the February finance report for your information.
Any question on the February finance report? All right, thank you, sir. If you move to the next one.
And item number 2 is regarding the sports field house. The superintendent recommends the approval of the intent to award PEN contracting for the construction of the sports field house project.
You want, and I don't want to jump ahead, but do you?
Yeah, but go ahead.
Okay. All right. So we can get to the discussion because I know we're going to have some. Can we get a motion to approve the superintendent's recommendation for the field house project?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair. I make a motion that we recommend the superintendent approval of the 10 award to PEN contracting sports field house project. Provided they get a second. Did I say that right?
Yes, sir. I believe you did. Oh,
I second.
It's been motioned by Mr. Miller, second by Ms. Harrison, in regard to accepting the superintendent's recommendation to approve the intent award to PEN contracting. I believe we have a presentation that Ms. Brown is working on getting together.
Well, so what we have, Mr. Chair, is we have a rendering of the proposal, and so I wanted everyone to get an idea of exactly what the field house will look like. As you see, it is in the far end zone. This field house will be able to accommodate, obviously, the football teams, away and visitors. We have locker room space that will be able to accommodate tennis, soccer, softball, and cross country. And so I want everyone to understand that this is an athletic field house. Very often people assume that because it is located near the football field, that it is a football field house. But this is something that will be accessed by virtually all of the sports that occur in that area.
Question? Yes, sir.
Dr. Green, what is the square footage?
The square footage, Mr. Miller, is a little bit under 10,000, somewhere in the 10,000 ballpark. Yes, about 10,000 square feet. Yeah.
You say it would be able to, house tennis team, girls tennis team, as well as, say, soccer, softball? I wanna make sure I'm here, right? Yeah. Softball, football team. Diane?
I kind of lost everything you said there, so yeah, I don't know, yeah. Tennis, you said tennis?
Yeah.
And so, Mr. Miller, some of those obviously will be shared spaces. And so, for example, if tennis and soccer's not going on at the same time, they could use the same space. If softball and football is not occurring at the same time, they can use the same space. So we'll have spaces designated for all of those sports, even though all of them will be designated specifically for those sports. That answers your question. So in other words, we aren't going to have a locker room that will be just for softball and no one else will utilize them, just for soccer or just for tennis. Yeah. And so we'll have some shared spaces that we can utilize in and out of season.
That's the other thing I was kind of getting to. Not just holding it. Yeah. Just because it's softball, then nobody else can use it. No, we want to make sure that we use it. So.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
What exactly is going to be in this field house?
Well, and so obviously you'll have locker room space for soccer. I mean, you'll have a weight room, a very state-of-the-art weight room. You will have office space for coaches. You will have training space for athletic trainers. We'll have spaces to accommodate visiting teams. You will have bathroom facilities. And so, for example, if we had parents or players or anyone who are attending softball, there really is no bathroom space that currently exists without walking up to the football locker room. So if a player has a situation where they need to change prior to a game, we really don't have any space. So virtually all of the things that I described to you previously would be included in the updated field house.
Are they going to have showers in there?
Oh, absolutely.
But anyway, I understand. Are they, how do they do the facilities as far as girls and boys, men and women?
When you say what, I don't follow your question.
Well, just like I mentioned to you about the, kind of new facilities, are they going to, like maybe put stalls in instead of, as far as the same for women as men?
Well, and so, Ms. Harper, we'll have multi-use facilities, and so there could be a facility, a locker room that could be used by boys soccer and girls tennis. And so they won't necessarily be gender specific. Yeah, it is my, all right, I guess that's your question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Y'all don't see the water cooler in there, Doc?
We work on that. We'll work on it. If I can say one more thing. And so, let me say that, anytime we look at a new building program, we make some projections about what we anticipate the cost to be. We were hoping that the cost of this facility would come in probably under $2.3, $2.4 million. I always caution the board when I make these kinds of estimates that they aren't necessarily accurate until we get the plans done and we get contractors who submit bids, and then we'll find out what they're willing to do it for. So the bids came in probably a little bit more than we were hoping for, with a total cost of 2.9. But we do have some latitude in the budget, and so what we're going to do is we have already identified about $2 million for high school renovations. We'll probably utilize some of that money to make up the shortfall in the budget for the field house, and then we'll replace the money that we pull from the high school renovation on next year at a later date. And so the high school will still have the full complement of the money that they plan to do the renovations with, but they'll probably postpone some of those renovations into the fall. And quite honestly, some of the renovations had to be postponed into the fall anyway. For example, we're going to renovate the current weight room that will now be the new dance facility, and we really couldn't renovate that until we built the new So that's something that we couldn't do until the fall anyway. So there are some projects that we needed to push back until the fall, so it really works out fine.
What was the square footage that we added to the middle school? Do you remember?
No,
Is it around the same thing? Because I know we paid somewhere over $2 million for that.
it was a different space, yes, a different space, Ms. Hartman, so even if the square footage were
It seems high for a field house, is why I'm saying that.
pardon me?
Seems high for a field house compared to us knowing that we paid a little over $2 million for, what, 6 classrooms at the middle school?
So Ms. Hartman, what I'll tell you is, this is not high for a field house. I mean, you have districts who spend $10 million on a field house. So $2.9 million is very modest, to say the least, as it relates to the field house. And I would encourage you to visit some other field houses in the area.
Mr. Chair, can I say this? I did visit some field houses. Irmo, by 15 million. I mean, it's out there. It's out there. We're, you know, I actually expect it to be higher, but if you're gonna do something, let's do it right this time. You know, I can remember back in when we were back in, getting ready to build the high school, and some things that we were gonna build and put in their high school, no, we gotta cut back. Well, we're really cutting back. That's half the frame. That's a building that we are proud of for the next 40, 50 years. That's my take on it. But it is much cheaper than, go to Irmo. What's the other one down there? Even a private school, Cardinal Newman. It was about, I think, might have been 8 or 9 million they spent for it. And we just spent 2.9. The price is way up there. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to say that.
Comment that, where exactly, is this gonna be at the same location of where the older ones were, or?
So Ms. Hartman, the field house will be located where the portables are. I don't even want to refer to those as facilities or certainly not field houses, but they'll be where the portables are. And, you know, and I've said this before, these portables are quite honestly an embarrassment. You know, I'm embarrassed for our students to have to go in those. And so I will be elated when we can remove them from our property and put our kids in a facility that is fitting.
Is that the best spot to put it in relation to everything?
Yes.
Anybody else on that? Dr. Green, so we're still anticipating that hopefully this will be available for the upcoming fall seasons?
Absolutely, Mr. Frick, and so our expectation is that the contractors are completed with this project by August. Actually, I think we said August 1st. We've given them a little wiggle room. We just want to be ready by the time we return back to school, and they're optimistic that they can meet our deadline.
When's the first football game?
First football game is normally the 3rd week of August in that ballpark, Mr. Miller. I'm not 100% sure, but normally about 3rd week.
Is there a way of seeing some of the plans, what it looks like inside? Get some thing?
Oh, yes, I mean, so there are plans. Obviously, I guess unless you really can read architectural drawings, they might not really mean a lot. That's why we kind of focus on renderings, but I'll be happy to show you the plans if you'd like to take a look at it.
Thank you.
All right, anything further? Discussion on that? It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor of approving the superintendent's recommendation for the approval of the intent to award PIN contracting for the sports field house, indicate by raising your right hand. I believe that is 6-0. Thank you. That now moves us to the second and final reading of the policy for the new policy GA for the civic league. I did? Somebody's, I'm gonna have to give me some glasses, I swear. Okay. I apologize. I will just turn it over to you.
Okay, good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. For your approval, under Human Resources, item 1, the superintendent recommends board approval for resignations and terminations for certified staff members, and this is being presented to you in Exhibit 1.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a motion in regards to certified resignation, termination in Exhibit 1?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion, we accept the superintendent recommendation for the board approval of resignation, termination in Exhibit 1.
I second that, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. It's been motion by Ms. Harrison, seconded by Mr. Miller, to accept superintendent's recommendation, certified resignation, termination in Exhibit 1. All those in favor indicate by raising your right hand. That's 6-0.
Next, for your approval, the superintendent recommends the board approve recommendations of professional certified staff members as presented to you in Exhibit 2.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a motion in regard to that?
Yes, sir. Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I want to accept the superintendent recommendation for board approval, recommendation for professional certified staff members, providing a second.
I second.
Thank you. It's been motion by Mr. Miller, seconded by Ms. Harrison, to accept superintendent's recommendation regarding professional certified recommendations in Exhibit 2. All those in favor indicate by raising your right hand. 6-0.
Item 3, certified administrative recommendations. The superintendent recommends the board approve certified administrators for the academic year 2018-19. This is being presented to you in Exhibits 3A and 3B.
And I don't know of any reason why we can't do 3A and 3B at the same time if y'all would like to. Chair, entertain a motion as such.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to accept the superintendent recommendations for certified administrative A and B, providing a second.
I second.
Thank you. It's been motion by Mr. Miller, seconded by Ms. Harrison, to accept superintendent's recommendation for professional certified administrators in Exhibit 3A and 3B. All those in favor indicate by raising your right hand. 6-0. Thank you. And now,
Lastly, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, second and final reading for new board policy GA, sick leave bank, whereby a sick leave bank may provide extended sick leave to an active full-time eligible employee with a catastrophic illness, injury, or incapacitation sufficiently severe to self so that regular attendance at work is inadvisable and or impossible. This, sir, is being presented to the board for approval by the superintendent for the second and final reading of board policy GA sick leave bank in Exhibit 4.
thank you, Madam Chair. I'll entertain a motion in regard to the approval of second and final reading of this board policy.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion, we accept the superintendent recommendation for the board approval of the second and final reading of board policy GA sick leave bank.
I second the motion.
Thank you, ma'am. It's been motioned by Ms. Harrison, seconded by Pastor Jackson, to approve second and final reading of new board policy GA sick leave bank. Any discussion on this?
Mr. Chair, do we have public comment? I mean, a public, yeah. Do you do a public hearing with this?
I don't think so.
I didn't.
That's just the budget, isn't it?
Pardon?
Just the budget, I think.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry.
Mr. Chair, did we check with the lawyer, like Ms. McDaniel had asked, on, as far as I think she was referring to the pregnancy situation on this policy?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I mean, it's okay.
I was just going to follow up on that. It's been vetted by the lawyer, and we're good to go with all of that. Okay. Any further questions on this? All right, it's been properly motioned and seconded. All those in favor of approving second and final reading of new board policy GA sick leave bank indicate by raising your right hand.
One more question.
Yes, sir.
If somebody has a situation now, are they eligible if they sign up to it, then there's a certain time period that they have to wait. Is that right or wrong?
Yeah, it won't take effect until you've been enrolled, kind of like insurance, until you've been enrolled.
For a certain length of time after, or?
No. No, whenever you're enrolled, then coverage begins.
Okay,
This
thank you.
doesn't begin to next year, right?
Yes.
So the enrollment time period, they had a date on it, right? As far as the time period to enroll?
I'm not understanding your
I
question.
think they had a time period to enroll, certain dates, when it started this date.
When we start?
Right,
Yeah, I don't know yet. We haven't determined specifically the start date. I mean, we'll try to have it rolled out by the fall of next year. But in terms of specific date, I can tell you a specific date that we plan to start.
thank you.
All right, anybody got anything else? All right, we're close, let's go back to it. All those in favor of approval of second and final reading of new board policy GA sick leave bank indicate by raising your right hand. 6-0, thank you. All right, I think we're down to me. I think we've got 2 of you going to the national convention coming up in a couple weeks here. So thank you for representing us on that. Brandon, you're gonna be heading off going to Carnegie Hall, and I believe Ms. Harrison's gonna be going as well. We're all very jealous. If anybody else can go, good congratulations to you. I wish you could. I'm stuck in court. But anyway, congratulations to our student. That is absolutely awesome, and I want to echo my thanks to Element. The most incredible thing, and I know y'all saw it too, is the check was presented to the crowd. And so we're all going crazy, and the students have no idea why we're all acting like that. And then when they turned around and they saw that check, that is the most incredible thing. I mean, you could just see how much it meant to them, and that just felt good. I'm glad we got to see that, and again, thank Element for being such a good community neighbor, as we do have plenty of other ones, but they just tremendous effort on that. I want to remind everybody, if you have not, as I have not, file your ethics form before the end of the month. And someone may need to remind me, because I was supposed to do it this weekend, I forgot to do it. Thank you. All right. I believe we have an intergovernmental meeting coming up on Thursday. Am I correct on that? We're going to Ridgeway, right? Good deal. If you have an RSVP, please do so if you can attend. Am I missing anything that we need to go over? Anybody? Well, okay. Well, we'll let her report when she comes back. If there's nothing else, entertain a motion to do.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion we adjourn.
Chair, I second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.